What's up guys, today I'm filming episode 6 recap of Life After Lockup. If you're new, subscribe, like this video, comment, check out my other videos. If you haven't already, make sure you check out my podcast, Pretty Open Mind, on Spotify. If you haven't kept up with my other recaps, make sure you do so. Everything is linked in a playlist. Everything's in a playlist, so it's readily available, so you can check it out and watch it anytime. And I don't know what else to say, but everything is linked down below. If you are interested in keeping up with me off of social media, everything's linked down below. So the crazy thing is, I didn't really have plans to film today, but both of my classes was canceled today, and I didn't know of until like I went all the way up to school. It's telling me to look on Blackboard. Initially I wanted to read some articles that I needed to do over the weekend, but I didn't do it, and I was gonna do it. And then my other teacher was like, yeah, class is canceled today. So I came up here for nothing. And I wasted a lot of time coming up there, and I didn't even know that was gonna happen. But I never had a class where both of my teachers canceled at the same day. I never had that before. So we're gonna start off with Ken, because Ken was on the episode the first few minutes when he was the first segment of the episode, and he was on there for like a few minutes. So he said that like when he first wrote to Gypsy, he was like 24 years old, and he wasn't even initially trying to look for a girlfriend. He just was telling her that like, oh, you have support. I recalled saying that Gypsy was like really sweet when they were together, and whenever he was like super duper overwhelmed or stressed out, she was always there to like comfort him and stuff. And then he also mentioned that people were in his ear about their relationship, and they felt like the relationship was negatively affecting Gypsy, and he felt like he was like in the way of her succeeding and flourishing in life, so that's why he let her go. Also mentioned that she's like codependent on him, and he felt like it could be fixed by being with someone else. Anyways, Gypsy was shown. Gypsy called Mia, and she was like, oh, did you see that video I sent you? And it was the video of Gypsy and Ryan. I wouldn't say it's an argument, but I would say it's a discussion about the whole like how he didn't like that she told Mia on national television about the little Pan B situation. They decided to go to like on a little date. It's kind of like, I don't know what it was called, but it was kind of reminding me of Sky Zone. I don't know if Sky Zone is just a California thing, but I have been to Sky Zone before. Really fun. I think they have something like that here, but I just never gone. Kind of like Sky Zone, and it looked really cool. So at the dinner table, Gypsy asked Ryan if he's mad at her about this, her sending the video to Mia. I don't know why she sent the video to Mia. I thought it was just gonna be for the producers to make the episode, I guess, more juicy. Oh my god, I forgot to mention this. Okay, so disclaimer, I actually went on Peacock because my mom told me about this new show that recently dropped on Peacock, and it was The Prison Confessions of Gypsy Rose Blanchard, and it's actually very current. That was really supposed to be in the beginning of this video, but I completely forgot. I find it more interesting than the actual show itself that I'm recapping on. There's only like 6-7 episodes, and it tells a more in-depth story about like her life, and there's like a lot of things that could be pieced together on the current show that's running right now. I'm guessing she was filming for Peacock before Lifetime, and then once she got out, she was getting ready to film for Lifetime, is what I'm guessing, because the time frame was very close. And I learned so many things about like Gypsy, and I also learned about things about Nick, and I do want to say that like I 100% recommend it. And also I do get really irritated when people are like, free Nick, when he's not as innocent as y'all think he is. And you guys keep using the excuse of him having a learning disability or whatever the fuck he has, but this man was actually deranged and like literally out of pocket in a lot of things. In that show I learned a lot of things about Nick that made me more disgusted by him. I already thought he was freaking weird. All the stuff I watched, especially on The Act, the guy that played Nick was very, very spot on about his mannerisms and everything like that. But he was a lot more disgusting than I thought. I remember one thing that I remember very vividly, and basically like Gypsy said that when I guess the discussion of having kids was brought up between Nick and her, and he said to Gypsy that when their daughter turns 13 that he wanted to take her virginity. That is verbatim. I was appalled. He had like grape fantasies, he had murking fantasies, he had a lot of really violent fantasies that he wanted to do with people, and I felt like I think it's a good thing that he's locked up, because if he wasn't, he would be plotting on an innocent person personally. But I just get really tired of seeing like the little small group of people on TikTok that are like, oh my god, free him, free him. Y'all are, that's the same energy as like, I don't even know, that's like saying free Jeffrey Dahmer if he was still alive. Like that's the same thing pretty much, because they're both deranged and weird and creepy and sickening in the head. I think he should stay his happy ass in jail personally. Gypsy did her time, and I don't feel like people need to keep bringing up that she needs to have more time in jail. She already did her time, and since Nick did the actual act of murking, he should be behind bars. If you're into that stuff, it's a little triggering because she does bring up her getting molested by her grandpa, and I was very, 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 very firm on that belief because I did talk about it in I think my last video or the video before, and I was like, I swore to you that I heard a video saying that it was her grandpa, and her grandpa was on that documentary, and then the producer was like, did you molest Gypsy? There were some allegations that was told by us that you molested Gypsy, and he's like, huh? I didn't molest Gypsy. I didn't molest Gypsy. She was trying to touch me, and I was like, no, Gypsy, she was 4 allegedly touching on this man, and how else is she's gonna learn how to touch you sexually if it's not being taught? It's so weird. Once he was like put on the spot about the whole molestation thing, he was stumbling on his words, he was fidgeting, and I was like, he knows something. It's very, 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 very guilty right now. Let me go back to what I was saying. So at the dinner table, Gypsy asked if Ryan is mad at her over the video, and he said yes. And then he said it didn't help the situation. He felt like it made it worse because everyone is involved. And then Gypsy was like bringing up how she felt like every time he wasn't fond of someone, of their relationship, he would complain about them and make little snarky comments about them. And Ryan said that he didn't like that they questioned their relationship, which he always says that. And he's like, well, if I don't butt in their relationship, I don't know why they butt into ours, which is valid, I guess. But since it's like they probably see the signs of him being controlling and insecure, probably what's making them want to talk about it more. That he had like no animosities, because he's like, oh, I call Christine mom, I wouldn't have any animosity towards her, I still love her. And Gypsy said, oh, it's like funny that you say that because you make a lot of snarky remarks about them. And he was saying that apparently he said that Christy likes attention, but he said he was joking around about it when he was brought up to the table about that situation. Gypsy was showing the audience how she puts in her dentures, and I completely forgot that she had dentures, and I felt like so bad for her because no one in their early 30s should be having dentures. She said that she only lets people that she's close to see that little routine that she has. She still wants to look nice for Ryan because she was show him without her teeth, I guess. She was saying that she didn't feel like pretty without her teeth. And then she explains that her mom told the dentist that her teeth were apparently chipping away and she was in pain because of it, even though it didn't show any signs of that. Also, I always wondered back in the day, why her mouth, like her teeth looked very pushed out. And on that little confessions, the prison confession documentary, I learned that she was using a pacifier at like 7 years old, because there was like a picture of her using a pacifier. And I remember like, why did her teeth look straight and flat at one point, and then now it's like pushed out, when she was like 10, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. And it was because her mom was giving her pacifiers when she didn't need one, to make her look younger than when she was. They're like, you're using the pacifier for too long, or you're sucking on your thumb. And those are like the only two reasons that I know for sure is the reason why your teeth get pushed out like that. And then your tongue kind of like pushes out a little bit more because of it. And I'm just glad that I was never like a thumb sucker growing up, and I was never like super obsessed with pacifiers like that, because that shit is probably so expensive to fix.
I like to get up early in the morning, put my teeth in before Ryan gets up. I'm comfortable around him enough to be myself, but we're still newlyweds, so I still try and look good for him. I only usually let the people that I'm closest to see this process. My teeth is something that I've always been really insecure about. I just don't feel pretty without my teeth.
It was like, since her mom said that her teeth were in pain, her dentist like extracted the top and bottom teeth because of that. And she had it said that she got free partial teeth, and she said she only got them free because her mom said that she had chemo. So she was getting free things, free procedures, all that shit. Like, she's on Zeus Network, like she's Rolly from Baddies, getting all these procedures and all these free perks because her mom was like a master manipulator. My voice is very raspy today. I don't really know why it's very raspy today. I think it's because I didn't drink a lot of water today. And she would say things like, apparently her mom would say things like she's a vain child and doesn't need to be concerned about her looks. And you know, as I was learning more about this Gypsy case again, I was feeling like her mom was intentionally making her ugly so she didn't get to be desired by someone. And because like, she was making her look younger, she was wearing dresses, she was wearing all these kiddish clothes at like 14, 15 years old. Her eyebrows were shaved off, her hair was shaved off, her teeth were missing, and she never really had a chance to really like grow into her looks until she like pretty much got into prison. And I felt bad because I'm just like, this is not how you should live your life. So Christy decided to visit her Gypsy at her apartment, and Gypsy was saying that there was like a rumor going around in the media saying that she was pregnant. And actually, by the time I'm filming this, she's like 11 weeks pregnant in real life. And I'm gonna say my opinion at the end of the recap. She was like saying that people were accusing her of being pregnant because she was at the hospital, and there was allegedly people saying that they heard her say that she was going there for pregnancy stuff. And apparently the reason why she was really there was because Ryan was sick. Ryan wasn't really in that little segment because he was sick and he needed like medicine for his chest pains or whatever, and he needed an x-ray, and that was really why she was there. But of course she's learning the media likes to twist things, and she's now seeing it like, oh, this is how they are, you know. Christy decides to bring up the fact that Rod wanted to spend time with her because there was a little segment where Rod was expressing that he wanted to spend one-on-one time with Gypsy because he was like, everyone is getting time with her and I want to have time with her. I never had one-on-one time with her, but I don't want to like force it onto her and make her push back.
I haven't had a chance to spend some time with Gypsy, just me and her. I know, that legs with, I don't know how to fit that in with, she's real busy. I mean, look, kind of find a time when we could just just me and her, a conversation with you. I know, not letting me talk. I'm sorry. That's how, yep, I know. I'm that weak. Let's finish. I'm good.
Why that's initially why I feel like she was at her apartment to bring it up. But he felt like he was worried about his happiness, and he felt like he was being selfish in that moment because he isn't focusing on her happiness. And Gypsy said that he can tell her anything, and he doesn't feel like he shouldn't feel like he had to hold that back. I want Chrissy to tell Gypsy that he wants to spend time with her. I think he wanted to tell her on his own, but Christy ended up telling her anyways, which I thought was a little bit weird, because he's a grown man, like he can speak up for himself, but he was specifically saying like, don't say it, like I want to say it, you know. But I think she felt like she was helping the situation, but I kind of did in a way. But I just wish he could have went to her, like got a time to go up to her and be like, I want to spend time with you. And she was saying that she was shocked because she didn't know that he was jealous from all the media attention she's been getting. She also decided to meet up with a plastic surgeon because she wanted to get rid of the bump that she has. I think this was like a consult, and so they were taking pictures and seeing what she looked like without the little bump that she had on her nose. And but Mia asked like a very valid question, and she was saying like, oh, are you nervous about getting surgeries, knowing the history you have with surgeries? And she said it's different since this is something that she really want to do. And she was like, it's not being taken away from me, like this is something I truly want to do. Like the times I was getting surgeries, things were getting taken out of me that I needed. Gypsy and Gypsy decided to meet up for lunch, and Gypsy was saying that she woke up Ryan to tell her that she was missing Ken.
It's a sign to me that I'm like, this marriage is good. A couple days ago, I went to the bedroom, woke Ryan up. I said, I need to tell you something. He said, I was asleep. I said, I miss Ken. He must have woke up quick. He did, and he was like, you need to let that go. You need to let him go. You are married.
And then Ryan was like saying that you need to let him go, like you're married now, you don't need to be thinking about him anymore. She was saying that she was coming to terms with the fact that she loves two different men, which I was like, huh, okay, interesting. I feel like she liked one more than the other, but I feel like she was trying to stay loyal to him. And I don't know if she truthfully really liked Ryan. He probably sounded super nice, but when I was watching the prison confessions of Gypsy Rose, he was like cussing her out sometimes whenever she would bring up Ken, and he would get really mad at her. And there's like really like the recorded lines, so you can hear him being like getting really angry about it and stuff like that. But on Lifetime, he's like super chill, innocent, all that stuff, but he's cussing her out, which I mean, I get why. I would understand why I would get frustrated if I kept hearing about someone's ex every 2 seconds, but I wouldn't get to the point where I'm cussing them out over it. Like not everything is needs to go that far. She also was mentioning that she called Ken 2 weeks before her wedding to ask if she should still get married, and then he said that you should wait and do what makes you happy. And then she said that she didn't like the fact that he said don't, like she wanted him to say wait for me, and she was really bugged out over the fact that he didn't say that. He was just like, do what you want, do what makes you happy. And she was really upset about that. So she was like telling Chrissy that she was bothered by his response. And then Gypsy said in the confessional that she wished that she stayed single instead of jumping into a rebound relationship. And I'm glad that she said that, because it was a rebound. From the timeline of her breaking up with Ken and, you know, with Ryan, getting in with Ryan, it was very close together. And I get that that's her first love, but I wish even to this day, I wish that she could have stayed single when she got out of prison, because you know, she had a place to stay. She just had to go to her parents' house and figure out her life from the ground up and go from there. But she jumped into marriage when she didn't even know who she was, like not thinking how it would affect her tremendously. And it just would have been safe to do that, because I felt like she was so impulsive the last 6-7 months of her being out, and I just wish that she could have really took the time to go to therapy and like really talk to someone that was specialized in Munchausen by proxy, because she has so much unresolved trauma that she will continue to put onto people, and if she does not get the help that she needs, because she didn't get loved properly growing up, so she keeps chasing all these people and thinking that this toxicity is love, but it's not. And if you look at any documentary about Dee Dee, like, she manipulated the hell out of her, and she would like guilt trip her all the time if she didn't like submit to her. She was like very submissive with her mom because she wanted her to love her, and she didn't want to make her upset. And those are not really good traits to carry on to your life when you are getting into a relationship or just in general. Like, that is just a people-pleasing trait. And as someone that used to be a people pleaser, like, I used to really value people's opinion about me growing up. I used to really want, like, all I really wanted growing up was people to like me. I wanted everyone to like me. I wanted everyone to be coexisting in my space, and I didn't want any bad blood with people. But like, I used to do things as a kid to make people like me, and plus also, like, I was not getting attention and love from my dad, so I was like doing things to get people to like me as well. So it was just a very like vicious cycle, and then I had to like sit with myself and get away from some toxic situations to be like, I need to get out of this, and this is not healthy. I'm glad that she realized that what she did was wrong, and I hope that she doesn't carry that on for the rest of her life. I don't know if she'll truthfully be with Ken for the rest of her life, but I just hope that she heals for all the things that she doesn't talk about and all the things that was talked about on all these documentaries, because rebound relationships never work out. They never work out. So yeah, but she decided to get like a whole makeover in this episode, and she was like treating herself by getting highlights and getting her teeth done. Decided to go crabbing with her dad. And then Ryan says in the confessional that he was worried about her changing herself, how she truthfully saw how she viewed herself, and he was just like, well, I'm gonna like her either way, but it is a little like sudden and soon that she's changing herself. Like, she just got out of prison and she's like getting her nose done, and she's getting her hair done, and she's getting her teeth done and all this stuff.
I want to get my hair done again. Oh, well, that's real born. Yeah, I want it to actually be like super noticeable. So you're gonna get a nose job, you're getting your teeth done, and your hair's gonna change. You're not even gonna be my wife anymore. Like, how you ever be your wife? Everybody's gonna look super hot. You might feel that way, but I want to feel that way. I just hope it didn't change your looks up too much. I know you're gonna look beautiful. Oh, we're changing a lot. It's hard for me sometimes to think about all these changes, because it's like, well, is it gonna change how she perceives everything? You know, it's just one of those, like, you just don't know. You know, like
it was a lot, like, but that is pretty much all. Like, that is pretty much all for that episode. But I know that towards the end of the episode, she was at her family's house, and she was hanging out over there, and she called Ryan, and he was asking her to FaceTime, and she was like, no, I don't want to FaceTime. And then he was like, why? Like, do you have your other boyfriend there or something? And then she's like, no. And then, like, when she hung up with Ryan, she said it's so nice to not have him around sometimes. And I was like, wow, that is so telling. That is so telling. Okay, now we're gonna be talking about the pregnancy and my concerns with the pregnancy. When she announced her pregnancy, first it started with that little like pregnancy test that was like a couple weeks ago, and then like T Pages posted it, and she deleted it like quickly after and said that she was hacked or something. And I was like, huh, that's very odd timing that she did that, because I don't know if it was around the time of the little episode aired about the little Plan B, but I feel like it was around that time. And people were like speculating that she was pregnant because of that. And they were also like saying, there was also another side saying that she's doing this for attention. She wants more people to talk about her. So it's like, you know. But then when I go onto TikTok, the first video I see is Gypsy announcing her pregnancy on YouTube, and everyone is reposting it. And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean she's pregnant? She's 11 weeks, which I've never seen anyone announce their pregnancy at 11 weeks. That is the first trimester, and people wait until like the second, thirdish trimester to announce it because they don't want like bad juju, they don't want complications. There's a lot of people saying that like if you announce it too soon, something bad will happen to the baby. And I think she was just so excited that she just posted it, and this is her first child. So the thing is, they're saying in the state of Louisiana that if you are still married, and even though she got pregnant by another person, Ryan will still be on the birth certificate even if he's the child's father or not, because they haven't gotten a divorce. So that's what I'm hearing right now, which is kind of fucked up because he can use that to his advantage, to keep her in his life still if she allows it. Because from what I'm hearing is that they still kind of chitter chatter here and there. He says on live that she still hits him up, and whenever like Ken and her, I guess Ken is not around, she would text Ryan and stuff like that, which I'm like, this is messy. This is very childish. You can't, what is it called? Eat your cake and, what is it called? You know that cake saying? You can't eat it too. Like, you can't get two people and like reap the benefits of both of them. Like, if you're not going to be in an open relationship, like pick one. You said that you wanted to be with Ken. Why do you still talk to Ryan? You said all these things about Ryan and that he hovers and that he's insecure, he's controlling. Why do you still talk to Ryan if that's the case? But with the pregnancy, I have some concerns about it because for one, it's her first pregnancy, and for two, she still has a tremendous amount of trauma that she has not worked through, and three, she has a medical trauma. She's gonna be having to go to a lot of doctor's visits for the baby and her and check the health of them, and I don't know what's going to be triggering for her because she's going to have to get poked and prodded a lot, and she's going to have to like do all these tests, and I don't know if it's going to make her spiral because of that. And a lot of it is like basing around checking on the baby, and there's like set times where you have to do it, and if you don't do it, they'll send CPS to your house. So I'm hoping that she does do it, but I do feel like it might trigger her because her whole life from 4 to like 23 years old has been nothing but picked, prodded, and surgeries up the wazoo. So I'm just like, okay, this is gonna be interesting, but it's also kind of concerning because it seems very rushed from the weeks of her breaking up with Ryan and her getting with Ken, and the pregnancy was very close together. It's like the second that she got away from Ryan, she got pregnant with Ken, is what people were also saying. So she might see this as a very exciting thing, but she has so much things to work through. And she literally said in her episode that, which is very current, okay, she said that she is not ready for kids. She kept saying that in a lot of the episodes. She's not ready for kids. She's not ready for kids. And she doesn't feel like she can give all of herself to a kid. And I just feel like it was very rushed. I wish she could have waited at least a couple of years to have a kid. She had a few more years to wait on that. Like, it didn't have to be right now. So I was a little bit disappointed to find out that she was pregnant. I think she thought people were going to be really happy, but I barely saw people that were actually genuinely happy for her. And I don't want to say that the baby is like the worst thing on the planet for her, but I'm just saying, like, the circumstance that she was grown up on. This is where we get to see nature versus nurture. This is the stuff that I learned in my psychology class right now. If you don't know, I'm taking psychology right now, and so we just learned about nature versus nurture, and this is gonna be where we will see it plan out in real time, because I'm pretty sure she's gonna be vlogging every little thing that she's gonna be doing with the kid. And you know, pregnancy is exciting, but like, I just when she posted the baby registry, I was a little bit like disappointed as well, because I was like pro Gypsy because of her traumas, and I could see that it still affects her, and it probably will always affect her. But it was just like the whole baby registry, and the fact that she made a GoFundMe the other day. She wanted to raise $10,000 to pay for the divorce, and I don't know if it's real or not, but if it is real, it's giving Dee, okay? She says a lot in those like documentaries that she knows how to lie and she knows how to manipulate, because she was raised on that, and she was taught how to lie and manipulate, because her mom would literally tell her, lie about your age, and she would manipulate situations. And I can't fully get mad at her, but I was like, okay, the second you announced your pregnancy, you already have an Amazon wish list up and popping. Like, it's already designed. Like, this is very intentional. And people apparently purchased it, but then people were I guess she commented under someone's comment saying that people didn't actually purchase it. There's this thing online, those baby registries, where it looks like you can purchase it, but you can hold it for 3 days and then you purchase it apparently. And so it may look like to you that it's purchased, but it might have not even been purchased. So she said that no one even bought anything. And when I saw the baby registry through other people's pages, it was like up to $1,000 worth of things. Like, there was very expensive items on there for strollers, and I know there's cheaper strollers out there. Like, I don't understand why people have to get the most expensive strollers when they all function the same. And I saw something that was like almost $1,000. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a crib or a stroller or whatever, but she put everything up on there, and she was expecting everyone to just, and she makes bank from all these shows. She makes bank from TikTok because she's like talking about her story, and she's also posting on YouTube a lot now. So she's making money from different streams. She has several streams of income, so I don't understand why she didn't buy herself. So I was just kind of like, okay, it's giving Dee a little bit. I'm a little disappointed because I thought it was going to be different, and I was a little disappointed about the little like divorce thing, if that's true, because it just looks like you are looking for handouts. And I know how she was growing up. It was, she got handouts all the time because her mom would lie to people and be like, oh, Gypsy is sick again, can you give us a private jet to Disneyland? And people would be like, oh my god, what a poor kid, that kid is 24. But anyways, yeah, that poor kid, I will give you like my life savings. Like, it was literally like everything was handed to her, and that was all she knew. Like, picked and prodded, tortured, and lies and manipulation, molestation, also getting handouts, free procedures because of those things. That also kind of plays into the handouts thing. But these are the things that she knows, and I'm just hoping that she doesn't do those things anymore, because like everything is in real time that she's posting. Do you see the state of the economy? I don't think any of your fans have that type of money. Like, there were $700 worth of like baby items on there, and I just don't see why people would want to pay for that. And if trolls really didn't buy it, okay, that's good for them. I mean, it's your money if you truthfully decide to pay for her baby registry, but it's a dumb move. It's a dumb move because once you see it, they're gonna keep asking for it because nothing's ever gonna be enough. Once they get what they want, they're gonna be like, well, now I can ask for more things and more things and more things. And it's just really a very bad habit to have. I see it with the Apple Store girl. I don't know if you guys remember the Apple Store girl. She danced back in like 2013 in an Apple Store on a MacBook, and it went viral. And I think she was like maybe in her teens in that video. And right now she's in her 30s, like mid to early 30s, and she is begging all the time for money. She got her kids taken away. She doesn't have a house anymore, and she begs for money on live to get like alcohol and shit, and for hotels with like gazebos and shit in it. Like, that is her life now because she chose to live that life. And when she was doing that, the begging of like the baby stuff, I was kind of like getting that vibe because I see so many YouTubers, content creators just like, okay, give me money all the time, when people would love to have the money that they have, but they always spend it on stupid shit. There's people that got mad at her, like a bunch of pregnant people got on TikTok, were pissed about the baby registry thing. They're like, I'm 15 weeks, no, I'm 30 weeks or whatever, and I haven't gotten anything off of my baby registry. Girl, that is on you, okay? That is on you. I don't know what, there was just so many people complaining about it, and they're just like, I didn't get anything from my baby registry. The thing is that like, it's hard to get stuff if you're just not like a popular figure. And the reason why she's getting things is because she's a popular figure. Everyone is talking about her right now, and it's just easy to fund her life, I guess. But with you, you're just a regular smuggler person like me. And also, people don't have money like that. I don't know what type of stuff they were putting on their baby registries, but people do not have money like that anymore. They're trying to like scrape every penny they have. And like, I get that times are tough, but you should have planned better to have a baby. Like, you should have put some money aside so you don't have to keep relying on, you don't have to rely on strangers to pay for your things. Like, it's getting kind of pathetic seeing people being like, oh, they didn't buy from my registry. Like, it's really pathetic. Those are a choice. You don't have to buy from those things. That is the choice. But like, the guilt is not gonna work on people if you're smart enough. But I don't know, it's just annoying because I just remember just flipping through TikTok and just seeing a lot of angry hormonal pregnant people upset with her, and I don't really understand why, because these people are choosing to like, you can't get mad at people for how they choose to spend their money. If you have 200 followers and you post a registry worth of like items up to like thousands of dollars, like, people are not gonna buy that. People are not gonna buy that. Like, be realistic, you know what I mean? Like, maybe just ask for like cheap things like wipes and stuff. I don't know how much wipes are, but I don't know any baby product that is cheap. Like, having a baby in this economy is kind of crazy, but like, you shouldn't blame it on people for your choice and being mad that they don't want to give back. Like, that is all on you. Like, you choose to do that, whether you want to choose to do that or not. Like, you can't, I don't know, it was kind of irritating, and maybe I'm being a little harsh, but I was just a little frustrated. I was frustrated at Gypsy. I was frustrated at the pregnant people that were like mad over the situation. Like, what can you do? Like, what is getting mad gonna do? Like, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you check out my other videos if you haven't already. Make sure you check out all my recaps, my podcast, Pretty Open Mind on Spotify. Follow my socials, everything's linked down below, and I'll see you next week. Bye guys.